Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read 2 Samuel 4 to 12, Proverbs 3, and Psalm 40, Psalm 45. Let's start. And Ishbosheth saw son had a met over here, and his courage failed, and always it was dismay. Now Saul's son had 2 men who kept into waiting beds, and he was the one was bad, and the name of the other Rechab, son of Rim, and a man of Benjamin from Beeroth. And Jonathan, the son of Saul, had a son who was called Jesse. He was 5 years old when the news that Saul and Jonathan's sons came from Jesse. Jonathan came from Jesse, and the nurse took him up and fled. And as he fled in the haste, he fell and became lame. And his name was Mephibosheth, and the sons of Rim the Beeroth, Rechab and Baal, and asked him about the heat of the day. They came to the house of Ishbosheth, was taken near to rest. And they came to his house as is to get weak. And they stabbed him in the stomach. Rechab and Baal and his brothers. They came to the house, they laid his bed in the bedroom. They struck him and put him to death, and beheaded him. They took his head by way of Abel, and brought the head of Ishbosheth to David. And they said to him, "Here's the head of Ishbosheth, son of Saul, the enemy who saw your life." And the Lord avenged my Lord the king this day on Saul and his also. And David answered Rechab and Baal his brother, and the sons of Rim and the Beeroth. As the Lord lives, who has redeemed my life, I have every adversity. When one told me about Saul's death, and thought he was doing good news, I seized and killed him in Ziklag, which was the reward I gave for his news. How much more wicked man I could have righteous for his own household death? Shall I not know replies like your hand and straight from the earth? And David commanded these young men, and they killed him and cut off the head of his enemy, and hanged them beside the point Hero. They took the head of Ishbosheth and buried him in the tomb of Abraham Hero. And the Lord tried Israel came to David Hero and said, "Behold, we are bone of flesh, and times past the sword can over it. It was you who lived and brought in Israel. And the Lord said to you, shall be shepherd over my Hebrews, and you shall be prince over Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to King Hebron, and King David made a covenant with him, Hebron before the Lord. And he anointed David king over Israel. David was 30 years old, and he began to reign. And he reigned 40 years. At Hebron he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. And at Jerusalem he reigned over all Israel and Judah 33 years. And the king's men went to Jerusalem against the Jews. And I see inhabitants of the Lord, and he said to David, you are not coming here. With lion and lamb will ward you off, thinking, David cannot come here. Nevertheless, David took a stronghold of that seed there, and David said on that day, whoever was stricken David, so send him get up the wall, shall to attack the lamb of the bar, who were heard by David's soul. Therefore it is said, the lion and lamb shall not come into the house, and David built a stronghold and called it the city of David. And David built the city all around them, and David became great and great, for the Lord the God of hosts was with him. And Hiram king of Tyre sent messengers to David and searchers, the carpenters and masons who built David's house. And David knew the Lord had established him king over it. He exalted his kingdom for the sake of his equals, and David took more concubines and wives in Jerusalem. After he came from Hebron, and more sons and daughters were born to David. And these are the names of those who were born to him in Jerusalem: Shammah, Shobab, Nathan, and Solomon, Ibhai, Elisha, Nephi, Japhia, Elishama, Eliud, and Alpha. And the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over Israel. While the Philistines went to search for David, David heard of it and went down to the stronghold. Now the Philistines had come and spread out in the valley of the Rephaim, and David cried, Lord, shall I go up against the Philistines? Will you give them into my hand? And the Lord said to David, go up, for suddenly get the Philistines into your hand. And David came to Baal-perazim, and David defeated them there. And he said, the Lord is breaking through men, and before me like a breaking flood. Therefore, that place is called Baal-perazim. And the Philistines left the house, and David's men came to the Lord. And the Philistines came yet again, spread in the valley of the Rephaim. And David inquired of the Lord, he said, you shall go around there, and come against the opposite balsam trees. When you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the balsam trees and brass still. But then the Lord is gone up, who would stretch out the army of the Philistines. And David does the Lord come here, and stretch on the Philistines and gathered together. David again gathered all the chosen men, so 30,000. David arose and went with all the people with him from Baal and Judah to bring out from there the ark of God, which is called by the name of the Lord of hosts. And he sits enthroned on the tree, and they carried the ark of God. And then the clan brought it out of the house of Abinda. Which is on the hill, and Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Ahio, drove them in the car. And with the ark of God, and Ahio went before the ark. And David and all the houses were celebrating before the Lord, with songs, lyres, and harps and tambourines and castanets and cymbals. And they came to the threshold of Necker, and Uzzah put out his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it for the oxen stump. And the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and David struck him down there because of his error. He died there beside the ark of God. And David was angry because the Lord had broken out against Uzzah. And the Episcopal perished Uzzah's sister. David was afraid of the Lord that day. He said, how can the ark of the Lord come to you? David was not willing to take the ark of the Lord to see David. And David took his side to Asa, Obed-Edom, and Gittai. The ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. And it was told King David, the Lord has blessed the house of Obed-Edom, all that belonged to him. And he kissed the ark of the Lord. So David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to see that David was rejoicing. And those who brought the ark of the Lord, and had gone 6 steps, he sacrificed an ox and a fat animal. And David danced before the Lord with all his might. And David was wearing a linen arrowhead. So David and all the house of Israel and brought up the ark of the Lord, was shouting, and at the sound of the horns, and the ark of the Lord came to see it. And Moshe the daughter of Saul looked down from the window, saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord. And she despised them in heart. They brought the ark and the Lord's in this way inside the tent of David, that David had pitched for it. And when David offered burnt offerings, peace offerings before the Lord. And when David finished offering the burnt offerings and the peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord, and distributed among all the people. The whole multitude is both men and women, and the cake of bread portion, and the cake of raisins each one. And the people departed each to his house. And David returned and blessed his house up. And the angel of the Lord also came out to meet David and said, how the king is on himself himself today. Covering himself today before the eyes of his servants, and it's one of all the us shamelessly uncovered and stuff. And David said to my children before the Lord, he chose me as a father above the Lord's house to appoint me as prince over Israel. People of the Lord, celebrate before the Lord. No, I make myself yet more contemptible by this, and I'll be abased in your eyes. But by the female sons of whom you speak, I shall not, by that I shall be held on. And my child the Lord, so I had no child to David at death. And the king lived in the house, and the Lord had given him rest from all his surrounding. The king said to Nathan the prophet, see now, I dwell in the house of Sarah, I can go indoors in the tent. And Nathan said to the king, go, do all this in your heart, for the Lord is with thee. And the same night the Lord came to Nathan, go and tell my son David, thus is the word you build me a house to. I have not lived in a house since the day I brought me the Hebrews from Egypt. From this day I have been moving about in the tent for my God, no, persuade me. As the Lord people of Israel, do not speak a word with the judge. They speak a word with any of the judges. Come here and check my people, saying, why have you not built me a house? Now therefore, thus shall say to my son, thus is the Lord, I have set you from the pasture from following the sheep. You should be prince over my Hebrews. I'll bring you wherever you went, and cut off your enemies from before. I'll make you a great name, like the name of the great ones of the earth. I'll appoint a place where he quarters, and will plant it, and we dwell in a place, and we disturb no more, and violent men shall afflict no more as holy. And the time that I appoint a judge there, he plays, I will give you rest on my enemies. Wherever the Lord declares to the Lord will make a house, and in the days of fulfilling your life with your father. No raise your offspring after you, who shall come from me, but I will establish his kingdom. He shall build a house for my name, I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be to him a father, he shall be to me a son. When he commits an iniquity, I will discipline him with the rod of me. When he strikes the son of man, when my steps will not depart from me. And as I took it from Saul, and I will put away from before you. And your house and your kingdom shall be made for forever before me. Your throne shall be established forever, and the contour of his words, and the contour of his vision is spoke today. He came to one and sat for the Lord, and said, who am I, a logo? What is my house that you brought me thus far? Yet this is a small thing in your eyes, a logo. You spoken to his sons, has to a great while to come. This is instruction for mankind, and a logo. What one can do is say to you, and you say, a logo. It is your promise and according to your own heart, you glory about all his grace. To make it certain now, and therefore you are great, logo. There is none like it, there is no good beside you. According to all that we have heard with that is, it was like a people as though no nation whom earth and God went to redeem to his people. He himself a name doing for them great loss, things which I remember before the people. Whom you redeemed for yourself from Egypt, and nation is God. You established for yourself your people, to your people forever. And the year of the Lord became their God. They now will God and confirm forever the word that you spoke concerning his servant and concerning his house. And Jews you spoken, and they will be magnified forever, saying, the Lord of hosts is God goes. And the house of 7 days will be established for you. And you, O Lord, has to go to made this revelation, your son, say, I build your house, therefore your son has found courage to pray this prayer for you. And now, Lord, you are God, and your words are true, and your promises good things you say. Therefore, may you please endure us the house of 7 days, continue forever before you. For you, O Lord God, I have spoken with your blessing, shall the house of your son be blessed forever. After this, David defeated the Philistines to do them. And David took them with the gamut over him, the Philistines, and he defeated them over, and he measured them with light, making them lie down on the ground. 2 lines he measured equal to death, making 1 full line to each side. And Moabites became servants to David and brought tribute. David was defeated Hadad, son of Rahab, king of Zebulun, as he went to restore. And his power wherever he first. And David took from him 1,700 horses and 20,000 foot soldiers. And David had all the chariot horses that had left enough for 100 chariots. And when the Syrians and Damascus came to help Hadad, the king of Zebulun, David struck down 22,000 men of the Syrians. And David had garrisons around Damascus. And the Syrians became servants of servants to David and brought tribute, and the Lord gave victory to David wherever he went. And David took the shields of gold that were carried by the sons of Hadad and brought them to Jerusalem. And from Bethel and from Beroth I seized the Hadad, and David took very much bronze. And Toi king of Hamath that David defeated the whole army of Hadad. And Toi sent his son Joram to King David, also about his health, and to bless him because he afforded his Hadad and defeated him, for Hadad had often been at war with Toi. And Joram brought with an army because of silver of gold and of bronze. He is to King David dedicated to the Lord, together with silver and gold he dedicated from all the nations. He said, Adam loved the Amorites, the Philistines, and Amalek from the spoil of Hadad, son of Rahab, king of Zebulun. David made a name for himself, and he returned for strength down 18,000 Edomites and Vaisal. And then he put garrisons in, and through all Edom he put garrisons. All the Edomites became David's sons, and the Lord gave victory to David wherever. So David reigned over all Israel, and David administered justice and equity to all his people. Joab's sons were rulers over the army, Jehoshaphat son of Ahilah was recorded. And Zach was saying he took him less than be a thought priest. And Surrey was secretary, and Benitez and Jehovah was over the church and sympathized and David was a priest. David says that anyone left in the house. And I show him counsel John that say, there was son that has his name was Ziva. And he called him to David, and the king said to him, I use Ziva. Because I am his son. And the king said, is there not still someone at the house as well? I'll be sure the counsel go to him. And Ziva said to the king, there is still a son, John, that is couple of feet. The king said to him, where is he? And Ziva said to the king, he's in the house of Micaiah, and I made a load about. And King David sent and brought him from the house of Micaiah, son of Amir, and Lodabar, and Mephibosheth, son of Jonathan, son of Saul, King David, for him to pay homage. And David said, Mephibosheth again, said, I give you heart, I am your servant. And David said to him, for I show you kindness for the sake of your father Jonathan. I saw to your old land and saw your father. And shall you my table always, and pay homage and say, was a servant. And you shall show regard for a dead dog such as I. And the king called Ziva Saul's son, and said to all that belonged to Saul until his house, so give him to your master's grandson. And you your sons and your sons shall till the land for bringing in the produce. And your master's grandson may eat about you. And Mephibosheth his master's grandson shall with you at my table. And Ziva had 15 sons, 20 servants. And then Ziva said to the king, according to all that my lord the king commands to serve. So we were 70, so Mephibosheth and David table like one of the king's sons. And Mephibosheth had a young son, his name was Michael, who lived in Ziva's house, the king Mephibosheth's sons. And Mephibosheth lived in Jerusalem for a year, always at the king's table. He was lame both feet after his king and Ammonite, and Hannah his son reigned in his wife. And David said, I will do all the Lord with Hannah son of Nahash, as his father did all the Lord with me. And David sent by his sons to Solomon concerning his father. And David's sons came from the land of the Amorites, so the princes of the Amorites said to Hannah and Lord, you think because David sent comforters to you that he is honoring your father, has not David sent his sons to you to such things by and everything. So Hannah took David's sons, sheared off half the beard of each, and cut off their garments at their hips, and sent them away. And told David he went to meet them, for the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, remain a joke until your beards are grown and return. And the Amorites saw that David comes downstairs. And the Amorites sent to hide the Syrians of Bethlehem, and the Syrians of Zobah, 20,000 foot soldiers, and the king of Maacah with 100. With 1,000 men, and men of 12,000 men. And David had we sent Joab and all the hosts of mighty men. And Ammonites came out of Joab and Baal arrayed them to the king. The Syrians of Zobah and very hard, the men of Tob and Maacah were by themselves in open country. And Joab saw that Baal was sick, and both in front and the rear. He chose some of the best men and arrayed them against the Syrians. Rest as many put him to be shy as well. Arrayed them against the Ammonites, and said, the Syrians are too strong for me, you shall help me. If the Ammonites are too strong for you, I will come and help you. You have good courage, and let us be courageous for our people and seize them with God. And for the siege I got, may the Lord do what seemed good to him. Joab and the people were with him journeyed to battle with the Syrians and fled before. When the Ammonites saw that the Syrians fled, they likewise fled before Bishai and into the sea. And Joab returned for fighting against the Ammonites and came to Jerusalem. And the Syrians saw David defeated by Israel, they gathered themselves together. And Hadad and brought the Syrians who had been on the Euphrates, and came to Helena. When they showed back the queen of the army had as their hair, and I saw David, he gathered all Israel together and crossed with Jordan and came to Helena. The Syrians arrayed themselves against David forth, and the Syrians fled before us, and David killed all the Syrians, and over 700 chariots and 40,000 horsemen, and wounded showed back the queen of the army, so he died. And all the kings whose sons had saw that they had been defeated by Israel, and he peace with Israel and became subject to them. The Syrians were afraid to save the Ammonites anymore. And the spring of the 8th time when kings came to David and Joab, and his sons with them, but not all was and they robbed the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah. And David remained at Jerusalem. It happened late one afternoon, and David rose from his couch and was walking on the roof of the king's house. He saw from a roof of a woman bathing, and the woman was very beautiful. And David inquired about the woman, and once it is not dispatched from the door, and the wife of Uriah the Hittite. Now David sent messengers to her, and she had given away with her. And she returned to ask, and the woman could see it, and she said and told David, I'm pregnant. But David then went to Joab, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David, and Uriah came to David asked how Joab was doing, how the people were doing, and how the war was going. And David said to Uriah, go down to your house and wash your feet. And Uriah went out to the king's house and followed him a present from the king. Uriah stepped through the door of the king's house, the Lord servants in his law. And Joab go down to his house. And David told David, Uriah did not go down to his house. David said to Uriah, have you not come from a journey? Why did you not go down to your house? Uriah said to David, the ark and Israel and Judah to dwell in bush. And when my lord Joab and sons of my lord came in the open field, so they went into my house to eat and drink until I was my way. And he said, live in his sorrows, I'll not do this. And David said to Uriah, remain here today, and tomorrow I'll send you back. So Uriah remained in Jerusalem that day and the next. And David invited him and ate presents and drank. So he made him drunk in the evening. He went out to lie in his couch at 7 says, Lord, he did not go down to his house. In the morning David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. In the letter he wrote, set Uriah in the forefront and highest fight, and draw back from him who was struck and died. As Joab was besieging the city, he sent Uriah to a place where he knew there were many men. And men of the city came out and fought with Joab. And some of the sons of David among the people fell, Uriah the Hittite was to die. And Joab sent and told David all the news about the fight. And he struck the messenger. When he finished telling all the news about the fighting to the king, the end of the king's anger rose, he says to you, and says to you, why did you go so into the sea to fight? You don't know they never shoot you from the wall. Who could have been with some Jerusalem? Why did not a woman cast up and lost her hand from the wall? So he died to that. Why did you go so near the wall? And he shall say, so you're right, who knows dead. So the messenger came when he came and told David all that Joab said to tell. Mr. said to David, the men gave an advantage over us, the king and his assistant. They Joab back to enter the gate, then the archer shot at your son for the wall. So the king's sons are dead, and you seven year and the hair is dead. David said to the messenger, thus shall I say to Joab, do you know let his hand to switch? The sword devours now, but now one and now another. Maybe you attack this year with threat and encourage it. And my fear I had that your house was dead. If you let him to, if I had, and the morning was over. And David sent and brought her to his house, and she became his wife and bore him a son. The thing that David had done displeased the Lord. And the Lord sent Nathan to David. He came to him and said, there are 2 men who sit and seemed both rich, one rich and eligible. The rich man had very many flocks and herds, but the old man had nothing but one little ewe lamb. And he cheated and brought it, and he brought it up and grew with him and showed. He used to eat his morsel and drink from his cup and lie his eyes like a daughter too. And there came a traveller to the rich man. He was unwilling to take one of his own flock or herd to prepare for the guests who come to him. He took the poor man's lamb and prepared it for the man who come to him. And then David's anger was great came against him, and he said to Nathan, as the Lord lives, and the man stood and shall I saw the lamb fall, because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. Nathan said to David, you are the man, thus says the Lord God is. And none you king of Israel, and he delivered you out of the hand of Saul. And he gave you your master's house, and your master's wives into your arms, and gave you the house that is around Judah. And this word too that are around you is much more. Why you despise the word of the Lord? Do was evil in the sight. You had struck him when you were out of the hair of the sword. Take his wife to be your wife, and kill him with the sword and marriage. Therefore the sword shall never depart from your house, because you as you despise me and taken a wife of your right hand to your wife. Thus says the Lord, behold, I will raise up evil against you out of your own house. I will take your wife before your eyes and give them to your name. You shall lie with your wives in the sight of the sun. If you did secretly, I will do this thing before the sun. He said to Nathan, Nathan said to David, the Lord is about his relief, and shall not die. And nevertheless, because by this deed of utterly scorn the Lord, the child is born to your shadow. And Nathan went to his house, and the Lord afflicted the child that was for your wife's wife. What did David, and became sick. David therefore sought God on behalf of the child. David fasted one day and lay one night on the ground. Others had cast it beside to raise him from the grave, even not, nor did he eat food with them. On the 7th day the child died, and all the sons of David were afraid to tell him that the child was dead. And they said, behold, while the child was yet alive, we spoke to him, he did not listen to us. Now then can we say to him, the child is dead. He may do himself some harm. When David saw the sons were wishing to him, David understood that the child was dead. And David said to his sons, is the child dead? They said, he is dead. And David arose from the earth and washed and anointed himself and changed his clothes. He went into the house of the Lord, washed, and he went to his own house. And as they set food for him, and he ate. And his servants said to him, what is the sin that you have done? You have fasted from the child while he was alive. Then child died, you arose and ate for you. While the child was still alive, fasting and life. For I said, he knew whether the Lord would be gracious to me. And then child made over, now he's dead. Why should I fast? Can I bring him back again? I shall go to you and not return to you. Then David called his wife Bathsheba, and went into her and left her. And she was and he called him Solomon, and the Lord loved and sent the messenger. And Nathan comforted, called his name Judah, because the Lord. And Joab fought against Proverb the Ammonites and took the Rusty. And Joab sent messengers to David and said, I have fought against Proverb, moreover, I have taken the sea of waters. Now then gather the rest of the people and together and carry the sea and take it. And so I take the sea and it be called by my name. And David gathered all the people together and went to Proverb and fought against and took it. He took the crown that came from his head. Right of it was a town of God, and it was precious stone. And it was placed in David's city. He brought out the sword, so he great man. He brought the people who were in it, set them to labor swords and iron picks and iron axes, and made them to work the brick counts. Thus he did to all the cities and Ammonites, and David all the people returned to Jerusalem. Proverbs 4. My son, do not forget my teaching. You let your heart keep my commandments. Your life and days of years, life and peace that I do. And love, steadfast love, and faithfulness to take about them, and I can write down into my heart, so find favor and good success and study about me. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, do only your own understanding, always knowledge and when you pass. You always know, and if you love me, turn away from you, it will be healing to your flesh, and refreshment to your lives. I want the Lord to both the first fruits of your branch. The abundance will be filled with honey, your vats will be bursting with my son, do not despise the Lord, this way will be weary, face will be for the Lord, praise him whom he loves. And the Father, Son, whom he delights, so that's the one who is without language wisdom. One who gets understanding of the gift from his then gave from so that I profit better than God. His own precedent was nothing to like him. No life is in every hand, left hand rich on it, but his always a pleasantness and all pass away. His shared life to those that lay hold of it, those who hold fast called blessed. No other was to find the earth, I understand its established hands. His knowledge deeds very good, and the clouds down the dew. My son, do on his side, this keeps out wisdom and discretion, and double life is out of free night. You know, when you basically I fool not strong. You know, I don't not be afraid. If you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. No sleep will be sweet. Don't be afraid of some terror, the ruin of when it comes. The Lord will be your comfort, keep you from being called to withhold good from those to whom is due. As you pass to do, don't say to your neighbor, go and come again tomorrow, good when you have with you. No plan evil against the neighbor who draws to sin beside you. Don't contend a man for no reason, he's done you no harm. Don't envy a man wise, don't choose in his ways. They do his first and abomination to the Lord, our own confidence. What's cursed in the house of the pig, blessed is the door and the righteous. To what's scorn, see scornful to harm, wicked who wise and how, and false good disgrace. Psalm 45. My heart overflows with praise in the day, and I adjust my vest to God. My tongue is like a prayer with a ready cry. In the best hands of the Son of me. Your grace is poured upon you, and the staff of God is rusty from good, disorder, and fire, money, one, spending master. In the master run of victorious, cause of truth, and meekness of righteousness. Your hand teacher will some use your eyes to sharpen the hollow of the king's enemies. Many people sworn to you, throwing your God forever and ever. Scepter your king, scepter over darkness, save love, righteousness, and hate wickedness. Therefore, God, your God is anointed you with the oil of gladness beyond your companions. Your ears are afraid with men, and lose and cast you from ivory pounds of string against making that. Though the kings are among your ladies on. Your right hand stands the queen of gold, and here adorning sin and calling you, who had he when you fly fast. Your kingdom side your beauty, since he is not about to, and who tries to prefer of gifts to reach the people. Oh, glorious is princesses in the chamber. Princess in the chamber with rose into where God many colored rushes led to me, and the virgin companions following behind her with doing glance they led along this and to pass the king. And vice to follow shall be a son to make the prince on there. Now cause none to remember all generation. Therefore nation will praise you forever and ever. Now I shall have the cross with you, I have found out how your name making the covenant diamond of us in heaven. You said, Abraham forgives their sisters for debtors, these are undertaken the evil one. Deliver us from the evil one. You also can bind the glory for our father and see tomorrow. Bye.